You love them, or at least you think you do. But lately, something feels off. You text them and the reply comes hours later. You open up and they respond with one word. You express how you feel and they say things like, "It's not that deep," or "You're overthinking." And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to question yourself. You wonder if you're too emotional, too needy, too sensitive. But here's the truth no one tells you. Loving a nonchalant partner can slowly make you lose yourself. Today we're talking about how to deal with a nonchalant partner, not by begging, not by shrinking, and not by breaking yourself to fit their emotional silence. But before we talk about what to do, we need to be honest about what you're dealing with. A nonchalant partner isn't always someone who doesn't love you. Sometimes they care, just not loudly, not warmly, not in ways that make you feel secure. They're calm when you're hurting, unbothered when you're anxious, detached when you're asking for reassurance. They don't ask many questions about your day. They don't notice when your energy changes. They don't react when something clearly matters to you. And the most painful part? They seem completely fine, even when you're not. Being with a nonchalant partner often feels like you're loving alone in a relationship meant for two. So why do people act this way? Sometimes it's emotional avoidance. They learned early on that feelings are inconvenient, so they shut them down. Sometimes it's trauma. They've been hurt before, and emotional distance feels safer than vulnerability. Sometimes it's attachment style. They're wired to detach when things get emotionally close. And sometimes, this part hurts, they're comfortable because you've been doing all the emotional work. They know you'll check in, you'll explain yourself again, you'll adjust, you'll stay. Understanding the reason behind their behavior can help you have empathy, but empathy should never come at the cost of your self-worth. Because while you're trying to understand them, something is happening to you. You start overthinking everything you say. You rehearse messages before sending them. You downplay your emotions so you don't seem too much. You stop asking for reassurance. You stop expressing disappointment. You stop being fully yourself. And without realizing it, you begin to emotionally abandon yourself just to keep the relationship peaceful. That's the danger of loving a nonchalant partner. Not that they don't care, but that you slowly stop caring for yourself. So how do you deal with a nonchalant partner without losing who you are? The first thing you need to do is stop over-explaining your feelings. If you've already said, "This hurts me," and they brushed it off, explaining it 5 more times won't suddenly make them emotionally present. Clarity isn't the problem, receptiveness is. When you constantly over-explain, you send a message, not with your words, but with your behavior, that your feelings are negotiable. They're not. The second thing you need to do is stop chasing emotional validation. If you're always the one initiating conversations, checking in, asking what's wrong, or trying to fix the emotional distance, you're training them to relax while you exhaust yourself. Love should be mutual effort, not emotional pursuit. Matching energy doesn't mean being cold or petty. It means allowing space for balance. If they pull back, don't chase. Pause. Observe. Let their actions show you where you stand. The third thing you need to do is communicate once, clearly and calmly. Not emotionally charged, not during an argument, not as a threat, just one honest conversation. You say what you need. You explain how their nonchalance affects you, and you listen, not just to their words, but to their response. Do they dismiss you? Do they minimize your feelings? Do they promise change but show none? That response is information, and information is power. The fourth thing you need to do is set emotional standards, not emotional ultimatums. Standards sound like this: I need emotional presence in my relationship. I need to be heard. I need effort. Ultimatums sound like this: if you don't change, I'll leave. Standards are about you. Ultimatums are about controlling them. You don't need to threaten someone into loving you properly. The right person won't need convincing. The fifth and hardest thing you need to do is be willing to walk away emotionally even before you walk away physically. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop sacrificing your peace. You stop overextending. You stop waiting for crumbs of affection. You stop measuring your worth by their reactions. You choose yourself quietly. Because here's the truth many people avoid. If someone wanted to show up emotionally, they would. And if they consistently don't, despite communication, patience, and understanding, then the relationship is teaching you a painful lesson. Some people aren't cruel. They're just incapable of loving you the way you need. And that doesn't make you wrong for wanting more. It makes you human. So when is it time to leave a nonchalant partner? It's time when you feel lonelier with them than without them. It's time when you constantly question your worth. It's time when you've adjusted yourself so much you no longer recognize who you are. Love should not feel like emotional survival. You are not asking for too much. You are asking the wrong person. And the moment you stop begging for warmth from someone who prefers emotional distance is the moment you start finding yourself again. This is Lovera, where we talk about love the way it really feels. If this spoke to you, you're not alone, and you're not broken. You're just learning what you deserve.